Good afternoon and welcome to your lunch primetime news. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Jithendri Gunasena. Let's now take a look at headlines. Gotabaya Rajapaksa summoned to the Presidential Commission of Inquiry. Sentiments following the clash in the chambers. Planet Mercury's transition today. Canada wildfire advance slows as evacuations finish. Now on to a headline-making story. Former Secretary of Defence Gotabaya Rajapaksa has been summoned to the Presidential Commission to investigate and inquire into serious acts of fraud, corruption and abuse of power, state resources and privileges. Media spokesperson of the Commission, S. Shanmuganathan, said that the former Secretary of Defence was summoned to obtain statements on 3 charges against former Minister Basil Rajapaksa, including the use of exceeding amounts of security personnel. Shanmuganathan added that the former Defence Secretary arrived at the Commission at around 9:30 this morning. In more local news, the International Family Health Services Day was marked at the Temple Trees this afternoon. President Maithripala Sirisena was the chief guest of the International Family Health Services Day. We need to remember that the officers of the Family Health Service are working relentlessly to safeguard the family health services of the country. We all know of the threat posed to hinder the processes which were instructed by the President when he was Minister of Health. The Family Health Services Office was established in 1968. The office was established within the Ministry of Health with the aim of implementing the maternal and child health program. Speaking at a rally in Panduwasnumara, Minister of Sports Dasiri Jayasekara spoke about the history of the amendments to taxes, which is at the centre of much debate.
The economy is not where we think it is. It is on top of a volcano. We have a debt of about 1,402 billion for this year alone. But we should keep in mind the days of President Mahinda Rajapaksa. Remember that the VAT was at 20%. Then it reduced to 11%. Now it has been increased to 15%. However, it has not been increased to 20% as yet. If President Mahinda Rajapaksa would become president again, he will have to face the same crisis the way it is now. Minister Dasiri Jayasekara also expressed his views on the altercation that recently took place in Parliament. An intense clash occurred within the chambers, right? I am also ashamed. I can't even walk on the road. A group of children got into a brawl on the road the day before yesterday. I went and asked them what the fight was about. An elderly person asked whether they were fighting in an attempt to go to Parliament. This is the sort of example that has been set by us.
Now on to more local news that we touched on earlier in the bulletin. Speaking at a rally in Panduwasnumara, Minister of Sports Dasiri Jayasekara spoke about the history of the amendments to taxes, which is at the centre of much debate. Now, Minister Dasiri Jayasekara also expressed his views on the altercation that recently took place in the Parliament. Meanwhile, speaking in Karandani yesterday, UNP parliamentarian Bandulal Bandarigode said that it is the duty of public representatives to prevent the Parliament from falling into unpopularity among the public.
People now look at how things are happening today and say it is normal for fights to erupt in Parliament because that is where it happens. But no, it is not a place like that. There are those who think about their respect and those who don't. So you cannot point fingers at the superiority of the Parliament just because of 2 or 3 individuals and define it as a place with a lack of superiority.
4 people were injured in 2 motor accidents which took place in Kalavanchikude, Batiklo. Police said that the accident occurred when a motorcycle travelling at high speed had veered off the road and crashed into a wall in the Kalavanchikude area. The 2 individuals who sustained injuries in the accident have been admitted to the Batiklo Teaching Hospital. 2 more people were injured in another motor accident in Batiklo when a motorcycle collided with a bus in the Nethatua area in Kalavanchikude. Our correspondent said that a youth youth and a woman travelling on the motorcycle were admitted to the Patiklo Teaching Hospital after sustaining injuries. Meanwhile, a car lost control and had veered off the road, crashing into a high-voltage lamppost on the Eliakanda Road in Madra. The driver of the car sustained minor injuries, while the lamppost has been damaged. The driver of the car, who was arrested, was later released on bail. Well, that's all the news we have for you this hour. Join us again at 1:55 for more of the very latest. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Jitendri Gunasena.